Talk about that.
We are live on WPAT 9:30 a.m. on your dial, on your radio dial, but we are also live. Something new I want to tell everybody. We are live on YouTube. This is a new development for the UnderDog Report. So you can go to youtube.com/at UnderDog Report, and you'll be able to see us live. And that'll give me more flexibility to be able to share this video. Sharing videos on Facebook, which I've been doing up to now for the last year, has been difficult to share. People can't find it. So now we're more official. We're on the YouTube account. I'm very excited. And you can share that YouTube account with at UnderDog Report. And we're also live on WPAT to over 10 million people in New York City, all of New York City. Call your friends, tell them to join us. And also live on WPAT930am.com on your radio dial. And we are here with my good friend. I call him the hero. He doesn't call himself a hero. I call him a hero. He saved many people's lives by shooting the person who had just killed, unfortunately, 26 people in the church, but it would have been many more hadn't he had run home barefoot and got his rifle and shot the guy 6 times. Three were successful. The other three hit his body armor. Why the guy was shooting actively at him as he was behind the car. So thank you for doing that. And you're kind of famous, and we're excited to have you. But I want to share something, Stephen, with you as we're here. Uh, your website and everything else. So I want to just share your website. It is thebarefootdefender.com. Thebarefootdefender.com. I'm going to show everybody that. I love this picture. You're going to kick a kick out of the picture I'm sharing. There we go. This is Stephen Willeford on a tank at night shooting a flamethrower.
How
Stephen,
much fun
welcome.
was that?
What was this about? That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's too much fun.
Too much fun. This is your website, thebarefootdefender.com. I ordered your book, by the way. Here it is, A Town Called Sutherland Springs. I haven't gotten it yet, so hopefully it'll get here soon. But you are also a representative for gunowners.org, which is Gun Owners of America. You have your big show coming. I won't be able to attend it because I'll be in New Jersey on vacation. But go to Knoxville Convention Center, go to gunowners.org. You can find out about this great show. They got phenomenal speakers coming to be there. You got your Texas Attorney General is going to be there. You have Thomas Massey is going to be there. You have Andrew Clyde. You also have who's that? That
Cash
Liz
Patel?
Cash Patel is going to be there.
Yeah.
Wow, and Liz Wheeler. So hey, you want to meet these people? Go to gunowners.org. Now we're here going to
Dana
talk about
Lash? Dana Lash is going to be there.
Dana. Wow. I'm sorry I'm going to miss it, Stephen. I really am. But it
And
looks
Jack Carr,
now I don't know that name. Who's Jack Hart?
the terminal, the terminal report. Jack Carr, all the books from the terminal, former Navy SEAL, wrote a bunch of thriller books. He's going to be
That's
there.
great. Now, and as you know, I'm going to Texas in September. Hopefully, Austin, I'll be able to treat you to dinner. I'm excited to be with you because I will be safe. Because I will be with Stephen Willeford. I won't have to worry about anything. There's been a lot of news about don't go to the Riverwalk at night. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that it's been slipping into disrepair from a crime point of view. Is that what you've heard, Stephen?
No, I don't see that as a fact. I think the Riverwalk would be a magnificent place to go with you. And again, state of Texas, you walk down the Riverwalk with your pistol on your side, no problem. I don't think there's a big crime problem down on the Riverwalk, and it's very beautiful.
That's fantastic. So we got a couple of things we want to talk about. What's going on in addition to gunowners.org. And thebarefootdefender.com, your website. Let's talk first about um, let's talk first about
How about the
this,
mass stabbing
the
in
mass
Pennsylvania
stabbing. Yes, let's talk about that. There
where the
was a
guy,
mass stabbing in a stab and grab. Is that right? Can you see that on your screen?
I can't see it on screen, but the
All right,
guy
well, we're gonna put it there.
tagged-
So this is it. So this stab and grab, this guy came to kill a bunch of people. Yeah, he went to a Walmart store in Traverse City, Michigan, and goodness gracious, Michigan is basically a blue state. New York is a blue state. What happened, Stephen?
well, the guy came in and started stabbing. He stabbed 11 people, and I think
Whoa, 11.
11 people, and seven of them ended up in critical condition. They have now moved them all off of the critical condition and stuff. He didn't kill anybody.
Thank
And
God.
yes, absolutely, thank God. And some civilians and one with a gun. He drew his gun on him, ordered him to the ground, ordered him to drop the knife, and he did. And they ordered him to the ground, and he held the guy for the police to get to him. Another good guy with a gun, stopping what could potentially have killed a lot of people.
Now, since this is a blue state, let's be blunt, Stephen. It's a blue state. If this guy with the knife came after the guy with the gun, and the guy with the gun defended himself and shot him, what would have happened to him in Michigan, do you think?
Well, in Michigan, he may have been arrested, but even in Michigan, they got the common sense that they would have let him off at some point, and but probably would have been arrested and probably would have had to face a grand jury on it. But in the end, again, it's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
That's very true. Now, what was beneficial here is the gentleman had a knife and he was able to stop him. However, wouldn't you say it's a little bit different if the guy's carrying a gun and you just say stop? It's a little bit quicker decision, isn't it?
Well, let's be clear. The 21-foot rule with a knife is if you're within 21 feet, you can advance with a knife and cut someone trying to draw a gun before they can get to their gun. So a knife is a very deadly weapon.
I saw a video with a police officer warning this guy. He was more than 21 feet away, and he ran towards the cop. The cop started shooting, and he was able to stab the police officer, unfortunately. So,
Uh,
um,
and kudos to the guy that had the gun that he didn't shoot this guy because he perfectly had a right by almost anyone's laws had a right to shoot him because the guy with the knife had a deadly weapon, and people don't understand how deadly a knife can be, and it can just take just an absolute split second to make up that distance and put a knife in somebody. And so
but
this guy
let's say the guy's 21 feet away. How would you treat a guy with a knife versus a gun?
treat him the same way.
Okay, help me.
Absolutely treat them the same way. Drop the weapon. If they don't, then it's time to take action. Again, kudos to the guy that didn't shoot him, but legally he could have. The guy already showed that he had the will and the ability to stab a bunch of people. And if he would have made any sort of progress to charge the guy with a gun, he could have and should have shot him, but they were able to calm him down, get the knife out of his hands, put him on the ground, and wait for police to show up.
And this is the third time, I would say, in 5 weeks or less, that we have seen a person with a gun stop three different people 3 different times someone trying to kill others. Is that right, Stephen? We've seen three different. There was a one in Michigan. I think there was another one in Michigan, and there was a two churches, right?
Well, the second church, the police ended up stopping the guy. It wasn't civilians, but
Okay.
the church in Michigan, it was their team that stopped him. The the church incident in Kentucky, the police ended up stopping him, but not before he killed two women and two men, or killed two women and shot two men.
Now you made a comment before we started, and I want to investigate that comment. You said, "Isn't it funny that most of these armed attacks are in blue states where they have many laws against this?" And you're saying that laws don't stop violence. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, most recent one is I think it happened yesterday where a guy came in with an AR style rifle in Manhattan,
That was New York. Yes, my old stomping
New
ground. I
York,
used to work.
with a pistol brace, which is illegal in New York.
What's a pencil brace? What's that?
The pistol brace, it's a AR style gun. If it has shorter than a 16-inch barrel and has a pistol brace on it, it's considered a pistol. And those are illegal. It helps handicapped people be able to shoot an AR style gun. And those are illegal in New York. He had a 30 round magazine.
Which is
That's
illegal.
in New York. And all the things that he had, all the laws in New York didn't prevent him from doing what he did. It was a one-way ticket for him. I think he had decided that he was going to die in this and he didn't care about the laws. He
Death by
went
police, right? Death by police, they say.
he, he he shot a police officer and they he went into a building and he ended up committing suicide.
Did he kill anybody? I don't remember.
I don't think so. I
You're
think
not
he
sure.
died, but I think the police stopped him before, but
Now,
he did shoot a police officer.
now here's an important point you're making, and I want our audience to understand that places that states and cities and towns that make laws against guns or gun ownership or gun carrying, they prevent law-abiding citizens from carrying guns and stopping violence. These laws, if you're a criminal, you don't care about the laws. You're going to carry a gun. If you want to kill somebody, you're going to do it anyway. So the laws are not helping stop violence. That's true, isn't it, Stephen?
That's absolutely true. He went into a building where there were multiple people inside the building, any one of which, if they would have been carrying a gun, could have stopped him. But they were unable to have their own guns. And so, he did his reign of terror trying to kill people and shot at people. And, um, it's time for New York to let their citizens defend themselves.
Now, let's also mention something else. There's been a lot of news lately that the people that doing mass killings usually have medical issues, mental issues, they're on psychiatric drugs. And that was the case of this guy in New York. He had some serious, I think he had an injury. They said his personality completely changed. Those are the people that we don't want to have guns.
Well, absolutely. And there's a way to go about having someone deemed mentally unfit and that you have due process and go through that due process. But again, look at the gun he had. It was totally illegal. Do you think that if he would have went through due process, they would have taken his guns away? That's an illegal gun. He had it in New York. You think they would have known he had it? I say not even that.
I
Uh,
would never want the government to be the one to take a gun away. I would want an organization, a gun owners organization, to make that determination. I would feel more comfortable with the gun owners of America saying, in this particular case, this person, these particular cases, these people, if they have these conditions, if they're on these psychiatric drugs, their weapons should be, taken away.
Well, so the reality is if he's a danger to society, he should be institutionalized, whether it's in prison or a mental institution, because again, he's going to be able to get a gun one way or another. He's going to be able to get a knife. He's going to be able to, gee, today now you can make a bomb out of household stuff, you know. If he's deemed to be a danger to society, then it's time that society does something to remove him out of society.
Right. That's a good thing to do. Now, you're
There's a legal
available.
means there's a legal means of doing so that allows him to have the dignity and to prove that whether he is mentally unstable or not, not like a red flag that just takes his guns away and then he's got to prove his innocence later, you know.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
There is a process.
So you are available to speak. You're a great speaker. You speak at churches because you are Christian. That's a big part. We had conversations before. I'm sure you don't mind me mentioning that. It's a big part of your stance. If you're interested in having Stephen speak at your church, please contact him at thebarefootdefender.com, thebarefootdefender.com. And he will talk about guns, but he will talk how to prepare your church in the event that someone comes in with a gun, how to prepare in advance. But he will also talk about his personal beliefs of Jesus Christ and the Bible.
Absolutely. This past weekend, I did a seminar with Faith-Based Security Network, FBSN, and
Faith-based security network. I like that name.
Faith-Based Security Network, Carl Chin, and Carl Chin and the bunch are really good people. They have a once a year seminar. We had it this year at Cornerstone Church in San Antonio, Texas. It was attended probably by 5,000 people.
5,000. Wow. What'd you talk about?
Yeah, we had Jack Wilson speaking there. He's the guy that stopped the shooting at West Freeway Church of Christ in Texas. We had the police officer that stopped the shooting at the Memphis, not Memphis, Nashville Christian School. He's a police officer that took the shooter out there. We had all kinds of speakers that spoke on the subject, and we trained some good people, and that's with Faith-Based Security Network. And Carl Chin was at Focus on the Family, and
Wow.
he was taken hostage in an incident at Focus on the Family. He became a church security team leader, and he was at New Life Church when that shooting took place. I
Well,
told Carl,
what shooting was that? That New Life. Which one was that?
Colorado Springs, it was New Life Church, and a shooter came in and shot the pastor's two daughters
Oh
and
no.
came into the foyer and started shooting at people in the foyer. And Chin and his team removed him. A young lady that was a team member uh, waited till the guy walked past her in a hall, and she shot him twice with a Beretta. The shooter had a AR-15 with him, and she shot him and took him out.
Good for her. Good for
Good.
her.
Yes, absolutely.
But I'm very sorry that the pastor's two daughters were killed. That's a terrible story. But he had
It's
a lot of experience. A
it's
lot of
horrible.
experience.
Could have been so much worse had they not had a team to stop this guy.
Every church should think about protecting themselves because now we've seen it through the last 4 years. Things are slowly changing, but there was a lot of negative news about Christians. And whenever you say something on the internet or the media negative about Christian, it goes into people's minds. People that are not healthy mentally, and they will take action. They take action themselves. So this is why politicians should cut down on the rhetoric when it comes to Christians. It is a little bit better, but we're still seeing people targeting Christians.
Absolutely.
Uh, and
Please go to gunowners.org, sign up, be part of the solution. That's
Part of the
gun.
solution, every church should have a member. Every church should have a member of now, Gun Owners of America, gunowners.org. And it's very inexpensive. How much is it for a church to be a member?
Well, for anybody to be a member, it's $25 for an annual membership. And you can sign up at gunowners.org. We have a
Gunowners.org.
magazine coming out. It's going to be a quarterly magazine, and it's going to do gun reviews and got a lot of articles about what we're doing, and it'll be a great magazine.
I was at the gun range this morning, Stephen, and I had a lot of fun. I got I got a target that had like 20 30 little circles on it. So that was a lot of fun because I missed, but I hit bullseye, but not the bullseye I was aiming at, but it felt good.
There's all kinds of cool things that you can do with firearms on a range. We used to take and would fill up helium balloons and tie two of them together, make them about, the size of a melon, tie them together at the base, take a red one and a blue one, and then play a hostage game. You have to hit the one that you hit and leave the other one standing and
Oh, wow.
float them on about a 4-foot string, and they twist and they turn. It's a hostage situation. And so you shoot the one that you call. And then the next thing is with a rifle, with a sniper rifle, shoot the string and let your hostage float away.
Wow, I love it. I'm gonna go to my range and ask if they do. They probably won't. It's a very strict place, but I think that's a good thing to do. Instead of putting up my targets, I'm gonna put up some balloons and see if I
And
can.
and they twist and turn with the wind, so you got to be real careful that you shoot your bad guy and leave the hostage alone. You got to
So
look for your opportunity and make it happen.
So
And
that brings up another point. Everybody's talking about prepping and getting ready for things, and having a weapon in your house is a key issue for anybody's for this security. There are a lot of people out there getting food, and I got all the food, I've got all the shelter, I got everything I need, and then what do you do when a bunch of people show up with a gun? So you have to defend yourself. But the point is, you have to know how to use it.
and you can be really creative in your training if your range has a part of the range that you can move and shoot. Try
Yeah.
this. Well, but if it does, try this. Put earplugs in your ears and bring a welding hood. That way it limits your view and it mimics low light shooting. You can see your hands. You can't see the sights, but you can see your hands and engage multiple targets with a welding hood. Because
Or,
with the
or if
dark
you get blinders, right? Either way.
and it also mimics tunnel vision that you might get in a bad situation. So you have to turn your head while you're shooting and turn your head to the target and engage the target. You can see the silhouette and you can see your hands. You can't see the sights. Can you still hit that target? Because that's
Ah.
low light training.
Now, do you recommend putting a flashlight on the end of your pistol or your rifle?
I would say you should have a light, whether it's a handheld light that you can hold with your pistol or separate or one on your pistol. Obviously, if you have just a handheld light, you can get higher lumens and that will confuse the bad guy. Can't see,
Well,
you
then you
know.
have one on the gun and one on the light, right?
Well, if again, I do recommend two-hand shooting and they have some lights that will attach to your finger so you can still use your pistol. Uh, but whatever combination that you have, train with
Right.
it. Train it in low light situations. I know my local range does low light training. So they do nighttime, night falls. They do training with low light situations so that you know, you're not shook up when it happens. Most shootings happen in low light situations.
Well, this is why training is very important. Think about it. There's going to be, if you're in a church and you're supposed to be one with a firearm to protect, the situation gets crazy. People are running around. There's a person with a gun. You have to be sure that when you fire, you're not going to hit some child in the background, or you're not going to hit a hostage. And
Exactly.
in order to do that, you have to train.
And you never know. It could happen on Sunday evening when the sun's down and you're looking for somebody in a parking lot.
Exactly, exactly. So
You
these,
need to be prepared for any scenario that you can think of.
well, we got 60 seconds here. As you know, we went a little bit longer today because I love to talk to you. That's why. So,
But
Don,
please go to gunowners.org. Please come to Goals. Goals is Gun Owners of America Leadership Summit, and it's in Knoxville, Tennessee, August 9th and 10th, right around the corner.
right around
Just
the
come.
corner. And here's your
But
website, thebarefootdefender.com. Barefoot Defend, the Barefoot. Remember the. And this is where you can get the book he wrote. I ordered one, A Town Called Sutherland Springs, where 24 people were killed, but they were stopped by Stephen. Thank
26.
God. Thank God.
Absolutely.
And I see your YouTube channel. We got to get more YouTubes up there. So we
Yeah.
talked about New York. We talked about a lot of things. We're going off the air now from the radio station, and we'll be off the air now. And I appreciate your time, but we're still live on uh, on my YouTube channel, which is YouTube at UnderDog Report. So please go there. And
Maybe maybe we can put in a chat for people to ask questions in the future.
you have, yes, we're getting better. We're going to start doing things. If you have any questions about firearms, about defending yourselves, about, oh well, we should get rid of guns. If you don't believe in guns, tell us what your opinion is, and Stephen can at least tell you his side of the story. We'd like to get that. So I'll put that in my Zoom, and I'll put that in my text. But Stephen, it's always a pleasure. God bless you, and we'll stay in touch.